Alright guys, special little in the bag has nothing to do with the FAP challenge. It's more of a, what do we call it? Challenge for me. Let's see if I've actually improved, if I'm able to still play well with a quick change of something in the middle of the year. So I've done pretty well with the Prodigy bag the last couple of months, so much so that I shot my best round at Goat Hill with a neg 2. Should have been neg 7, but I had a couple of bogeys and one double bogey that stupid tree hump hill, tree stump hole always seems to get me with the double bogey. I just can't seem to. Drive is great, upshot's okay, and then I just like triple putt. Just boo! And then did okay at the FAP last time we did the FAP trilogy, the three of us did. And then the last couple times I played Morley, neg 6, neg 3, neg 4, so been feeling really good with it, feeling the putters, finally starting to get my putt back down. But we were talking earlier about doing some stuff, and oh man, I'm kind of hungry. A little bit of cheese, bacon. Oh, salty, cheesy goodness, so savory. Anyways, don't mind me. One moment. So, talking about how the manufacturer part of our challenge is really only when we're playing in tournaments or against each other. Other than that, we can pretty much throw what we want, other than when we're playing each other. Sanctioned stuff. So I'm going to be playing Reedy Creek most likely this Saturday around 10:30ish with my buddy John. And, of course, Darren, Allen, always welcome to join. Might have a couple of people show up. But I figured, you know what, let's see if I've actually improved my form and how I feel about things and my disc golf decisions. So I'm going to go throw an Innova only bag this time around, kind of like my old bag. But I will only do Innova only. So mid-ranges and that are typically Discmania are now only going to be Innova. I don't really have too many, so it'll be interesting. Luckily, Reedy, you don't need a lot of mids. And yeah, so that was the only part of my game that I really had. So no DD3s like I've had before, Cloud Breakers, and no mid ranges from there. So only Innova stuff, purely Innova. So let's get started. Start with the putters. Putters always great. I usually putted with KC Pros. Still love my KC Pros, but I've been loving the grip of the 350 plastic from Prodigy. So I'm going to go with my JKs. So I have more of a Upshot Gladiator one, kind of sitting there. It says beautiful black and gold stamp JK AVR. Not too puddle toppy, not too bendy. It's still pretty firm. I mean, it's still bendy, like it's a JK, but I can really get over on it. It's fine. And this one, this is my beautiful, I don't know, Tiffany blue, green, whatever, with the rainbow stump. This is a little more puddle toppy. This will be the primary putter. It's a little more stable for that wind putt because Reedy tends to hit windy, and I always get screwed. Well, I screw myself because I can't seem to putt while I'm in the wind. I'm going to give this a shot. This one's a little firmer on the edges overall, so it's a little firmer putter, so it's firmer with grip. Not so firm grip, so upshots if I need to. So that's the putters, just to, again, kind of a minimalistic bag. Going with just about 7 molds at most. Putters done. Mid-ranges. Only going to have 2, technically 3 mid-ranges, but really one's an approach disc more than it is a mid-range. So we'll go with first one of my first mid-ranges I ever got. This is probably the oldest disc I have. It's an Atlas, Star Atlas. Love this thing. Very shallow, good for little flicks, but mainly it is straight. I can get it to flip up. It's not super stable, but it's not understable. So it doesn't always flip up. If there's no wind and I'm throwing it on a hyzer, it doesn't really go. It just kind of penetrates, then slowly goes left. So there's not a headwind really. I'll be using this primarily as my main mid-range for that. Love this disc. Maybe I'll get an ace with it on hole 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. I think is that short par 3 that kind of goes down this way. So we'll see. Next, Mako 3, understable. Boom. Very neutral. Whatever line I hold it. This I can flip up. This I can hurdle the turnover. I've rolled it a few times. And I love beadless mid ranges. So these are my first 2 like real mid ranges I really loved and worked with. So Mako 3, very underrated. Great mid range from Innova. I wish more people really knew about it. Well, not that I didn't know about it, but used it because it's underrated. It's a great disc. Now for the other mid-range, it's more of the approach disc, like that A4, A2 Harp. What's another one that's in that zone? It's not a putter. It's not really a mid-range. It's that Speed 4. Bringing back the rat, baby. Love the rat. Look at that. Oh, this is the first rat I ever got. I love that it's so shallow and it's easy for flick. So throwing it flat, it gets a little bit of turn, comes back, throwing hyzer. It doesn't really stand up, but it penetrates, then lands off. It doesn't really skip. If anything, I've always seen it counter skip, so it tends to, when I throw a hyzer straight, instead of expecting that flare skip, it just kind of pops up and goes straight and then goes to the right. Love it. This is my first one. Got an ace with it back in October, I believe that was. Did I even date it? If I didn't date it, I guess it didn't happen. But it was hole 4 on the same position I got my very, very first ace on a couple years back. But love this disc. And then I have a newer version, so it's a little, because this one's a little been beat up. I've thrown it so much that it just doesn't have as much stability. I've got the Undead Rat. You can see that bad boy right there. I got this at Darren's tournament. Picked it up, and man, this thing is just like this, more stable. Love it, love it, love it. These two are workhorses. So those will be like my main workhorse mid-ranges, because again, at Reedy, don't need a lot when it comes to mids. It's more about big drive approach, and then either a mid or fairway driver for off the tee for some of the holes. So see how that goes, like that. Speaking of fairway drivers, we'll get into the 3 workhorses for that. Like Darren says, I really like to do the off-the-cuff stuff that not a lot of other people like to throw. Back to bacon again. Hold on, 1 moment. I gotta savor this. Going to the gym tonight. I'm gonna do another hour cycling. We're trying to get that, look at that weight. I mean, bacon's not helping. Here's cheese, but, oh, it's so good. I like to start from understable to overstable. So with eagles, I'm throwing eagles. Sorry. It's my first eagle I ever got. Star eagle. You can kind of see it's already starting to fade off on that. It's a little gummier. You can kind of see that. Not flat, not domey. It's just that shoulder over. I'm not throwing any leopards or anything because this one is so beat in now. This will flip up and it will turn right. I throw flat, it turns right. Give it an ante angle. It's going to hold the ante and then flex out eventually. So this is like that turnover kind of spot. So instead of having multiple molds, I'll have one mold in multiple different variations of wear and tear. So for stability reasons, that's one thing about Innova that I love. You can have one disc, 5 of them. They each fly different, and how you get that same feel. Just change how you throw it based on what you want to do. So this is the turnover, flip up, flippy fairway. Then I got this beautiful bad boy. This is flat. It's also star. It's one of my favorite colors for disc. It's pink with, look at that gold. Oh my god. I love gold. Yeah, it's like a smoke and a pancake. Look at that. I'm sorry, I just can't not. Like, it's just so fun to watch in the thing. Anyways, this eagle is great. It's not super overstable. It's definitely not understable. I can throw forehand. I can backhand it. It might get a little bit of drift to the right in the headwind, but otherwise it's dead straight and then dumps hard left. Love this one, and this is one thing about the challenge that we started doing when I went over to throwing the Prodigy stuff, is that I knew I was going to miss throwing this and like 2 other discs from Innova. So, but that eagle, and then probably my favorite eagle I've ever gotten is a flat top glow with the Team Air Force stamp. Thank you, Darren. You are the best for getting this. Like, this thing is, instead of having a sexy bird, Sexton Firebird, I throw this. It gets that straight forehand and then eventual hard dump to the right forehand or backhand. It does what a sexy bird does, and I feel like I can control it more because it's not as overstable. So instead of being just a utility disc in my bag, it's kind of a workhorse wind utility. Where I think I might throw a Firebird, I can just throw this, take a little off of it so I can get, so it doesn't go as far. Friggin' love the, oh, America, America, I'm into America. I have no idea what that was. Speaking of fab bats, Alan, you'll appreciate this. Look at this champion. Oh my god, it's so flat. And it's purple, and it has some little bit of like pearlescence. I don't know if you can really see it on camera, but this is the straight utility disc. This thing is so stable. Forehand, dump. Sidearm on a flick, it just wants to dump out. It does what it's supposed to do. It's a thumber, flick roller, tomahawk, get you out of trouble where you need to be, or if there's such a stiff headwind, I could put a pump on it and throw it decently far. By far, I mean hopefully 200 feet 250 feet backhand, and maybe 200 feet sidearm if I need that disc put on the flex line. But flat top champ Firebird, 12-time couldn't climb. Ooh, the champ. Yeah, love it. All right, now you'll be wondering, what shall he use for distance? Distance de la resistance. I don't know. Pretty easy for me. I could go through a couple different things. Of course, you have your destroyers. I have the Corvettes. I have DD3s with the Cloudbreaker as well for a little less stability. Orcs, you know, Shrikes are great. Well, there's the one disc that I fell in love with. It was my first true love when it came to a disc. I loved the first stamp from the DX plastic. Then I moved to G-Star, and then I just started getting them. And every time I got to get in the money, basically per plastic at the tournaments, I would get one that I found that I loved. And I found these ones, and I've been in love ever since. You guys know what I'm talking about. Alan, Darren, John, if you're listening, John. It's the Wraith, the Reaper. Reaper of souls, of disc souls. It comes out and it takes every other disc's soul and goes with it. So, my favorite run of Star Wraiths, and they're pretty much all Star Wraiths except for one, are the bottom stamp Star Wraiths. These things are the best. So, first one is a 172 pink, more of a pop top. Not usually a fan of pop top, but this one makes it understable, so I can flip this up and turn it over. I can still throw sidearm with it because I can get to flip up. This is more of that turnover disc. So roller, turnover, big distance for that type of reason. Throwing this in a tailwind, I can trust it. I love this thing. Plus, I mean, look at that green on that pink. Listen to that heartbeat. Next one that's not, again, I'm going from most unstable to the most stable. So the next one is another beautiful red understamp. Now you look at that. Look at that stamp, that foil. But then my boy John, ooh, there we go, that's better angle. Boy John, boom. This is the Reaper of Heads. This one, it is flat. It is gummy. Not like super gummy, but man, not G-Star gummy, but just under. And man, this thing will fly forever. Backhand, forehand. I've thrown it enough times where it's now kind of understable, so it's not my main workhorse of one anymore, but it feels good. There's no pop or anything. Again, it's flatter. It's a flat top Star, understamped, bottom stamped Wraith. Those are the best runs in my opinion. They're a little gummier, not quite so stiff on the edges because they can hold angles a little bit longer. They're not as overstable. They're great. But look at that. Oh, just taking heads, taking off baskets right at the bottom there, right at the base. Just. Anyways, next one. This is more the middle ground one. I'll probably use this one the most because it's not over understable. As long as there's not a stiff headwind, this will be the main one. Again, surprise, surprise. Flatter top Star, bottom stamp Wraith. I got this one also at Darren's tournament we did back in December. I love it because again, it's flatter, it's max weight, and it feels great in the hand. I have parked at Morley, hole 5, the farthest to the left. I think it says it's like 450, but it's downhill, so it probably plays like 400 at most, but straight, gets a little bit of fade, and it skipped over. I've parked it a few times, love it. I could get even more distance out of it. I know I can, especially now. There's that one. One that's more new, I haven't really used as much, so it still has a little more stability, is this orange one. Again, flatter. This one has a little bit of pop to it, but I love, look at that. Boom, sidearm, backhand, headwind. Again, not a raging headwind, but a little bit of headwind. I could throw this one, so thinking like I'd probably throw this one on hole 10 at Goat, down the hill, just let it flip up, drift a little right, come back. But love that. Then for the one that I needed, though, I know I need to throw when there's a big fat headwind. Flat, blue, color glow champ Wraith. It's the Martin Hendel. Oh man, look at that. This is talking about reaping souls, baby. Little loader action there. This is the Nazgul. Holds well in the wind. It's glow in the dark, so it's great when we play in the dark at all ever. It had a matching buddy that was white with a red stamp, but I gave that to John. He's been loving it. Sidearm, backhand, headwind. Don't throw it often. More just when I need some beef into wind. Because I can't. This one almost flies like a newer, just like a slightly beaten destroyer. So, boom. So that's mainly that's the end of a bag right there. But there are two other discs that are going to be in the bag. I may not use them, but they're there for good luck. I've really started to enjoy throwing backhand upshots with putters. So, who's going to be with me, even if he's not there playing with me? It's your boy Darren. Hey! It's your boy Darren right here. Look at that. Oh, it's a face you could love. Not just a mother. Anybody could love that face. Look at that. How do they always put it? You know, when you throw a good shot, it's like, good job, buddy. And then when you throw a shit shot with them, shit-eating grin like, why'd you do that? You should have done that. So, we them Arby's boys. So, upshot putter, AVR 3 star. Love it. I've actually thrown it a few times and pretty much just fly straight with a little, barely any fade. So, boom. And last but not least, this is a commemoration of the FAPT challenge. This is for Alan and Darren. I threw this disc on hole 16 of our second round after we first met each other and played, right before I went and purchased my first KC Pro AVR. It's a Thunderbird. Look at that. This is the 4-time Paul Macbeth Champ Thunderbird with the foil, American flag type foil. I aced this on 16 at Kit Carson. Looks like that was, July 14th, 2018. That's the first time I met them. Played with them. Had fun. Had my best round ever there. I think I shot like an 8-4 or 5. I just was hitting every putt. Felt great. Probably won't throw this, but I want it with me. And now that I look at it, it's actually prettier than I thought it was. I didn't realize it was purple, but kind of cotton candy, almost like that Valkyrie. But it's older. I might throw it on one hole, see how it flies. I haven't thrown one on this one in forever, but this is just for good luck, near and dear to my heart. And with that, that is the in the bag for the Innova bag I'm going to be throwing. Oh, God, this bacon's so good. Oh, I can't help it, man. This is the best ever. Flying fat. Guys, I'm going to say that's it today. And then I'll hopefully play soon. If you can make it Saturday, great. Can't make it, no problem. We'll play again sometime. But again, this is a test to see if I've gotten better as far as being able to adapt. Take me a couple holes to get used to the disc and see if I can adapt, overcome a little Bear Grylls style disc golf. Love ya. Deuces.